the dates in the Alta, I had them set in there, but they were coming up as the last day of the course. So I went in and changed them during the night. So that way it's a little bit more realistic. I also have the test created, and I have a review created, but I'm not 100% sure you can see it yet. It seems like it should be in there with the assignments.
No, I tried clicking on the review last night, and they're saying
I took those are the old ones, so I took those out, and then this one it's coded as a quiz, but we may have to see how to get to it. So I'm still working on that. All right. So what about that verification thing in the 120? Has anybody got through that yet? That's using the honor lock, which is slightly different. It works the same principle, but it's a little bit different process.
What I'm having trouble with that one is asking me something about extensions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to have the Chrome browser, and you got to add the honor lock extension.
Okay.
So you got to use Chrome browser for that, and there is an extension that you can download and install. So when you go in, let me see if I can show you. All right. So and this is talking about the 120 course. I'm assuming the 020 is all right. But if you got questions about that, let's see. So if you go into quiz here, and I'm not going to be able to show you, of course, you know what the issue is because it's going to shut down everything. But this is the one right here. When you click on it, see this right here? Honor lock Chrome extension. So extension required. So you got to click on that and say get started. And then if you need help, you can do that. But this right here is going to make sure you got that thing. See how it says add to Chrome? You got to do that. That's what it's talking about. And it'll only go with the Chrome browser. I know you can get it on Windows. I actually use a Chromebook, so that I pretty familiar with. How it works on Mac, I don't know much of anything about Mac.
What about an iPad? Because I usually just bring my iPad.
Well, like I said, I do not understand how they work. Like on Windows, you can download and use any browser you want. I thought on Mac you could do the same kind of thing because don't they have like Safari or something as the default?
Safari on Google.
Well, like I said, yes.
I use Google Chrome attached to my my Mac, and it allows me
to. Okay, so it is possible then. Yeah, you're just gonna have to whatever you do. I assume it's download it, but they'll have one for Mac.
Okay. For some reason, I don't know. I'm getting different pop-ups when I'm saying add to Chrome. It's something that's popping up for me to choose different extensions.
So you do have Google Chrome?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just something's blocking you from that then.
Okay.
All right. So like I said, I don't know enough to help you on Mac, but on the bottom of that, they've got the chat thing. I don't know what happened to it now. Did I already go into it? Oh, I know what it is because I had to do it as a student. Let's see. Well, it's already got the extension on mine, so see, they're not going to let me do it because you got to shut down everything. So give it a try. We still got, and then you got to click all this stuff. But it's not going to run the system check because I got everything else up. But I did it yesterday on my Chromebook, and it seemed to work pretty flawlessly. So give it a try. We're not we don't need it. We just got to get it before Monday, all right? And like I said, as long as if you've done the verification in 020, that'll suffice until you get this done. All right, what else we got? Anybody got anything else?
So the assignments in 120, I just realized that I had to click on assignments in that part to complete. If I don't do it on time today, would I lose points?
You shouldn't, but this is the thing is, I went through yesterday and did the first 4, and it took me about 2 hours. Now, you can kind of gauge by that. And then the last 2, I just didn't have enough time for them because they're a little bit more detailed. Because there's 6 of them overall. You should be able to do it. Because I've got it to where you can, if I remember correctly, the last day of submission is like right around midterm for anything up until midterm. So you should still be able to do it. All right, what else we got? Anybody? And just remember, if you're looking for videos, I don't use I just download them immediately after we do them when they're available. And then I put the link on here to them. Like this one is one that I did yesterday. And if it's one that we haven't gotten to yet, which technically this one I haven't really gotten to it, it'll be the old one from like last semester. So you always got videos there if you need be. So that's where they're at. So, I mean, you could go through, if you're having trouble with this, you can remove it and then put it back in. But it's a lot easier and flawless than those apps on Windows. The apps on Windows, and I think what it is I talked to somebody about it and they said, well, they're trying to push away from Respondus, and Respondus is in the middle of an update or something. So that might have been what we were running into.
So I did the verification with Respondus, but it was before the requirement of honor lock. I mean, I had the
Right.
account, but do I have to try and attempt another time? I don't think it's
Well,
letting me.
the honor lock is what you're going to use to take the midterm and the final. And we may do one other test, like it's a trial run. So yeah, you're going to need it for that.
Okay,
But like I said, the reason why the verification there is because there's all kinds of scams going on where somebody will play like they're a student and then they're not really a student, you know. So that's why that verification is there. All right, what else we got? All right, so we got 8 students today. I don't know where the other folks are at. All right, so let's look at the little textbook here. This textbook that's got some extra problems in it. And then we'll look at some of these. To kind of go over a little bit about what we did yesterday. Let's see here. We might come back to a few of these. I wanted to do something. I did something like a couple of these yesterday. Let's see if I can find another good one to do. All right. Now this right here, they don't ever let you select anything in this textbook. I guess that's for you're gonna copy it and sell it to somebody. But I wanted to highlight that. But number 32, I'll just do it like this. What do you think about that? What they want us to do is find out if the sets are equal. What do you think about that one I got circled? Are those equal? Well, we can kind of tell by De Morgan's law that it's not, because De Morgan's law works like this. You can always do the region thing, as I showed you with the Roman numerals. I think that's the best way. But this right here is De Morgan's law. All right, so you got two of them. You got A union B. And I'm using that just because it's easier than using the C. So I don't really have a little superscript C on here in the keyboard. But here's De Morgan's law, and I'm going to come back and put in the little symbol. And then the second part is very similar. I'll have to come back and put that in. All right. So I'm going to put right here. Oops, I want the other marker. Okay, so this is De Morgan's law. It basically works like this, that the complement on the outside of the parentheses, A union B, is equal to the intersection of the two complements, A complement intersection B complement. So on this side, the second one, it's going to put that there. A complement B intersection is equal to the union of the complements. So with that in mind right there, is this equal? Is that an equal statement, or is it true, let's say? Are those two things equal? Look what happens here. See, in reality, what happens is when you take the intersection of the union, it changes it to an intersection. When you got an intersection, it changes it to a union. So what's wrong with that one that prevents it from being equal?
They're not intersecting?
Yeah. If this were the intersection and that were the union, or this was the union and that one with the intersection, then that would be true. So let's just say no on this, because I can tell from De Morgan's law that you can't, that they're not. This one we did in class. That one is true, because when you got just the three unions like that, it doesn't matter which one you do, two you do first. That's the one I did. Let's see here. Let's try it with, let's try this one, just to see if these are equal. Because I truly don't remember that one, whether it is, so it'd be nice to do. Okay, so we got to have ourselves a little Venn diagram that helps. Okay, and as I had said, it really, really, really helps if we hand it like this. I know some people can do it other ways, but this is the way I'm pretty familiar with. So this is 1, wait a second. That's not, I put it in the wrong spot. It's right here. Four, 5, 6, 7. So what I've done is I've put in a name for each region. That's all that is. You could, in theory, if you wanted to put some values in there, but this right here is fairly standard. If you did a search for Venn diagram with 3, you'd get at least half of them would have the Roman numerals in there. That's traditionally how they do it. But not every textbook does that. So just wanted to show you that this is my kind of method of handling this. If their explanation makes sense, then you're free to do that and work it out, because it'll get you to the same spot. All right, so what I got to find, always when we're doing set operations, we're going to start in those complicated position. So that's B union C. So this is A, B, and C. All right. So B union C is essentially this and that. Okay. That's B union C. Anything inside of there is B union C. So then what we can do then, I'll just put right up here, B union C is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So A intersected with that. You might be able to just come and see that it's usually here, but I'm doing it as a kind of a basic way. If you don't understand anything, then this is the way to do it. All right. A is made up of 1, 2, 4, and 5. All right. Why it's racing the that one. All right. So A is there. And you see that? 1, 2, 4, and 5 are in it. All right. Now I'm just going to play my intersection here between these two. So what's the intersection between these two? It looks like 4 and 5. All right. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to just put right here underneath this one that is made up of 2, 4, and 5. That's the ones that make up the whole thing. 2, 4, and 5. In other words, because you might be able to see this without doing the drawing, is what I'm saying is. But I got to start with something where, basic steps. All right. So that's what is represented on that left-hand side. Let's try the right-hand side. I think this one might be true, but let's see what we can get into. Now we got A intersection B. So A intersection B. So we're doing this part. A intersection B is there. All right, that's A intersection B. So A intersection B is 2 and 5. All right. And then we need to have A intersection C. Then we'll be here. So that's that side. Now we got to union them together. And what happens when we union them together? I'm just going to write underneath here. We're just going to put these two together. We're just going to get everything. So 2, 4, and 5. So are these equal or not? See those right there? That side, I showed that it's made up of regions 2, 4, and 5. This side also is made up of 2, 4, and 5. So these are equal. Sometimes you can use De Morgan's law to do equality. Sometimes handle it like this. And like I said, that's the best way I know, is to use those Roman numerals. They're not elements, but it just puts one element in each one of the regions. And so when you go ahead and find the regions that, account for whatever set operation you're doing, then you know what regions it represents. You can do it either with these regions or the regions, the alpha, the Roman numerals, or you can also do it with values in there. But usually the best way is to just leave the values that they give you when you've got elements in it. They'll give you some things, and then use this if you're not sure how to do it. Like I said, because this just kind of breaks it down into basic steps. All right, how are we doing? Let's see what else we can get into. All right, this is a good thing. Cardinality. All right, so here we got a Venn diagram here, and we want to use this for the problems I got here. We're not going to do all of them. But what's the number of elements in A? Well, what does that mean, first of all, this right here? What does that mean? The number of elements in A, that's read as cardinal number when they say cardinality. You can also see this as N of A, meaning that the number of elements in A. So this is pretty simple because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 elements. Look at that. We got it right. How about B? Well, B is this whole thing here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Intersection of A and B. There's the intersection. So then this is going to have 4 in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the next one was A union B. How many is in A union B? I'm going to give you all a minute. Y'all tell me.
Is it the number of those, both of them combined? 21?
All right, we'll see. Anybody else come up with anything?
Tim?
17?
All right. So A union B refers to which part of the graph?
Everything in
There's
between.
A, and here's B.
I'll go with
So A
17.
union B is anything that's in both circles. The intersection is the one where they overlap. The union is all of them. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Does that sound right? Did I miss anything? I'm gonna come back and check them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, let me do a couple more. So the complement. All right. So what's not in the two circles? What's not in the two circles?
All the stuff in the universe,
It's in the universe, but not in the circles. Now, everything inside of the rectangle is in the universe. But what you're saying is, if I'm understanding,
like the
is
7E, 14, 4,
Seven.
yes,
13.
exactly. Because these here are not in the two circles. Therefore, that's what the complement is. It's what's not in that set. So they don't want us to write them out, but we're going to need to know what they are. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 of them are in the complement of the union. All right, let's try this. I'm going to come back and put that in. But this is again the complement. But this time we're going to do the complement So that's the complement. So what would that be? And this is why I like to do this, just incidentally. Another reason why I like to do this, put the Roman numerals. Because then you can say you can just say which region it is by naming it. But not all the books do that. So then what would be which regions would represent this? Here's the intersection. All right, it's at region 2. Little football. So which ones are not shaded blue?
1 and 3.
1, 3, and
Okay.
this one also. Okay, so then with this one, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think I counted it right, but I'm going to go double check because we always want to double check. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So there are 20 that are not in the intersection of A and B. Okay? See if I can find more and more good one. All right, let's do this one. This one will take a little bit of thinking. Like I said, is we can use, and this is one thing I would suggest, just drawing one out that's got two. You don't have to put anything in it, but just put those region numbers, and then use that to determine what region you want to look at on the actual graph you got, because they're going to be exactly the same. Because when you do a two set Venn diagram, it always pops up. So let's see if we can figure this out. All right, this is the intersection of A complement, B complement. That is part of De Morgan's law, but we're just going to use it here and kind of all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're always in order, starting in the first, and the one that's on the left, and this going straight across, and numbering that one last. All right. So first of all, I need to know what A complement is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this shading tool, and I'm going to shade in A. So imagine that all of A is invisible now because it's gone. And what's left is regions 2 and 3, okay? 2 and 3. Okay. I'm sorry, what did I say 2 and 3? It's 3 and 4. Well, see, those are not in A. A is covering up 1 and 2. The only ones left are 3 and 4. So the same thing with B. We're going to shade in B now to find B complement. Oh, it took away my 2 and my 3. All right. So 2 and 3 is covered up. So oops. So B complement is 1 and 4. So the intersection of these, which is what this tells us right here, is looking for. It's just the region 4. So the region 4 represents this. See that? That's the only one that's the same. Because we're looking at the intersection of those two. So region 4 contains our answer. Region 4 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so this is what's called set operation. So it just takes a little bit of concentration and attention to detail. So, but the best way I know to handle it is just to label those regions, figure out which regions represent the set that you've got there, and then go back and look what's in it. And then sometimes they want you to count them, but other times they'll say, well, what's in this set? All right. Let's see what else we can do. All right, so this is just drawing a Venn diagram. Let's see here. People who drive A is people who drive an SUV, and people who drive a hybrid vehicle. Oh, I don't want to do that. That's kind of, well, we can look at it, but it wants us to identify the people who drive an SUV or a hybrid. A is the SUV and B is the hybrid. And here's the key word. This is what you got to watch for. Or is the union. And remember, so which regions represent the ones who drive a SUV or a hybrid? That's SUV only. This is SUV and hybrid, and this is the hybrid. So those three circles, the inside of A and B, including the and, is the or. For this one here, all right, that's just this part right here. And it erases all my stuff. All right. So this is and, or is all three of them. And it includes and, but and is only that one football shape. So the A complement, and this is what I was doing up there when I was doing the set operations. A complement is just everything that's not A. So in this case, they've shaded everything that's not A. But this is A there. Okay, there's A, the blue shaded part. Everything else, the gray shaded part, is a complement. And just realize that when you take a set and its complement, you have no overlap. And you'll notice that. See, it's either shaded blue or it's shaded gray. That's the nature of a complement. Let's go to the next section. So this is where I kind of started off yesterday. Well, about midday, mid lecture, I started off with this. This is the last section, the application. Okay, so we looked at these two concerning the use Instagram, Facebook, and both. We actually did one of these. Let's see if we can find us another one to do. All right, let's draw out a little shaded thing. It always helps. I mean, a Venn diagram that we can shade ourselves. And then inside, we're going to have 2. I'm a little bit picky when it comes to presentations. I like to get them nice, but they're hard to get perfect. But you don't really need them perfect. All right, so we're just going to do label. We're going to put D for drug, and then we'll put A for alcohol. How about that? Because what it is, it says a court record search of 250 incoming freshmen at a state university shows that 26 had been arrested at some point for underage drinking, but not drug possession, and 12 had been arrested for possession, but not underage drinking. There were 202 that had been arrested for neither. Okay, let's see if we can fill in this thing. All right, so everything in here has got to add up to 250. So 26 had been arrested for drinking. All right.
Hey, Josh.
Okay. 26 had been arrested for underage drinking. So that means then they're going to go in here and alcohol. All right. And at some point, we got to realize, but not drug possession. In other words, they are in the alcohol alone. 12 had been arrested for possession, but not underage drinking. So here's the possession. I guess I should have put P and DR, but this will work. But this is the drugs. That's the alcohol. All right. 12 possession, but not drinking alcohol. There were 202 that hadn't been arrested for neither. Where in the world would I put the 202 at?
In the universal area?
Why not here? Just out of curiosity. I think you're right.
Because it's neither drug.
Yeah, it's
or
neither. This would say both. Okay.
Right.
But that's all that they give us. There's the neither. Now, here's what we need to determine. We want to determine, well, we got to answer those questions, but we got to fill in all of these things. All right. All right, we got to fill in. So we got to have this one. So how can we do that? Well, that's what the calculator was invented for. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up these three numbers. All right, so that's 240. So what happens if I was to put that right there? You think that would work? No, I got one more step. What can I do to find out what goes right here? Take the 250 minus that total, which was 240. Since we only got one space missing, we can easily find it like this. So now, inside of here, All right, now that we got it filled in, we should be able to answer the questions. So, how many students have been arrested for drug possession? Hint, hint, hint. It's
32,
22.
22.
22, right? Because that's everything inside of that blue circle, which represents the drug possession. So that's what we want, the underlined part. How many had been arrested for underage drinking? So that's this whole part here.
36.
That's in there. So yes, that's 36. 10 plus 26 is equal to 36. All right. So this is how it works with these two set Venn diagrams, what they call applications. You can have a two set Venn diagram like we looked at a few of those before, but this one right here is actually what we call an application of the two set Venn diagram. All right, let's see if we can I'm gonna do another one. All right. So 25 mice were involved in a biology experiment involving exposure to chemicals found in cigarette smoke. 15 developed at least one tumor, 9 suffered from respiratory failure, and 4 developed tumors and had respiratory failure. All right. So we'll just label these as such. Let's see. So this would be a T for tumor. And over here, we'll just put R for respiratory. Okay. All right, so 25 mice were involved. So everything has got to be 25. That's our total. If you get one of these set up and all 4 of the numbers don't add up to the total, then something's wrong. And usually what it is because you didn't subtract as you go out. We'll look at that a little bit more in the second class. All right. So 25 were involved in a biology experiment involving chemical. 15 developed at least one tumor. 9 suffered from respiratory failure, and 4 had both. That's both right there. And essentially means both or intersection. So 4 had both. Now, 9 suffered from respiratory failure. So all of R has to add up to 9. But our problem is that we can't just throw a 9 in here. Nope. We can't just put a 9 in there. Everything inside the brown circle has to add up to 9. So again, this is what the calculator is for. We're going to start out with 9 because 9 is going to be the total for the brown circle, and there's already 4 in it. So then 5 goes out here. On this one, it's 15, at least one tumor. So this is the tumor section. We need 15 in there. We've already got 4. Again, calculator. So 11. And that's all the numbers that we got. What do we do now?
Put the remainder in 4,
What's that?
like put the remaining numbers in the 4 section?
Yeah, we got, if we don't have a number here. Good.
Okay.
We got that one. We got that one. We got there. We got one for 1, 2, and 3, but we don't have this one yet. So what are we going to do? We're going to add these 3 up. That's already in there. So there's 20, and there are 25 mice total. So 25 minus 20 is equal to 5. So 5 is out here as well. Once we got all of these things done or filled in, all 4 regions for the 2 subdivision diagram, we can answer the questions. How many got only tumors? Which region represents only tumors? This is the tumor circle, the blue one, but it says only tumors. Not 2, because those have tumors and respiratory. This one is tumors only. How many didn't get a tumor? Now, to help us, it might be beneficial to fill in because it's asking us about not tumor. So the regions 1 and 2 make up the tumor circle. So which ones are not the tumor? This one and that one. 5 plus 5 is 10. All right. I'm going to give you all a few minutes to let me know what's going on with letter C. Which one does that represent? Just work on it and see what you come up with. And if you get an answer, you don't have to yell the answer out, just yell it out. And because I want to see how long it takes for people to figure it out. I got to think about it too. At least one of these effects And when we say effects, it means tumors and respiratory failure. How many had at least one of these?
So is it 20 because of the 11 with the tumors, the 4 with the both, and the 5 with
Oh, yeah, that's great. It's basically just saying how many had one or the other or both. Because if they're in here, they had a tumor. If they hit in here, they had respiratory failure. If they're here, they had both. So these people had one of those. These are the only ones that didn't have it. So yes, it's the 11 plus 4 plus 5, which is 20. Because this one out here is the neither. So we'll come up with, we'll have a little formula like that after midterm about how to find the at least. It's basically the complement of one. I'm sorry, the complement of none. So this is the none. So the 5 from the 25 gives us the 20 inside. There's several different ways to see it. All right. Let's see if I can find something to keep us busy for a couple minutes. Anybody got any questions? There's plenty of them in here. I've probably done enough of them. Well, if you got any questions, stick around. Otherwise, I'll see you in about 20 minutes, okay? Just remember, we're testing in the 120 come Thursday. It's all moving quick.
So do we have any of these in? Do we have access to like these ones?
These ones, yeah, you do. That's a textbook from the 020 class.
Okay.
Do we have
But
the
you,
download like that? Or is it
what's
just
that?
like the download, like you know how they have the digital textbooks and the one that you get from the bookstore?
Yeah, that's okay. If you were to go to the bookstore and buy and get the 120 book, this is the one that they would give you, the one that I have opened here. You can access that through the 120. I'm sorry, the 020.
Sorry about
So if
that.
you go over here and you go into Alex, see here, I know yours looks slightly different, but somewhere there must be a way to access it. Let's see if I can do a student view. I can't remember if I think I went through the knowledge check. So, but anyway, you go here. Where is it? Textbook. And that brings up what I got, what I'm showing you. And I just use it, like I said, I like mine better for teaching, but this has got problems in it. So I go over there and steal those. But you also got the ones for your, the 120, which works differently. You're kind of never seeing a textbook. You're just going through problems. So go into assignments if you haven't been here already. This is the thing that's that people were asking about, the honor lock thing. And then these are the assignments, what we would call the homework assignments, the 10% of the total grade. Okay. So these generally will kind of show you how, give you an explanation and give you credit for answering. Okay. we're going through here for our test. See, it's all like ending on June 5th, which is the day before the test. And you should still be able to access them because you can go in, even if you complete them, and go back on them and review. So, but those are the ones. It just breaks this one, the last section, into two, and it breaks this one and 2.3 into two. Because otherwise, there'll be huge assignments. So that's why they did it like that. And I will have the review. I have the review to, but I got to figure out how to find it in here. I'm not sure why I don't see that review in here. So I want to send a question off to the people once we get off of here.
I
And find
found
it,
it,
yes.
120 under
If you go to, there is some stuff in there that won't, it won't hurt you. But if you go down to modules, is this what you're talking about?
yes, I
You
believe.
can do those. They won't. I'm just trying to have one where you can get a credit for it, but this will prepare you for the test. Like this one right here. That's what we're working on. It's just that there's one created in Alta, but I don't see where it's accessed. I'll try to send it off a letter, but
Okay. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much. I'll see you later.
okay.